episode of Alaka'i the podcast. We are your hosts, Valerie,
Myco,
and we have an interesting topic in which our listeners will be curious and excited to know and learn more. But before we introduce our guests, if you haven't listened to our previous episodes, please do so on Buzzsprout, YouTube, and Spotify. And with that, let's go on with our guest. Can we ask both of you to introduce yourselves?
Mabuhay. This is Jerameel Recodig, supervisor at Career Services.
Elder Brock is my name. I work with Jerameel at Career Services. I'm one of the missionary managers, supervisors, and
He is our big boss.
yeah, just a little bit of a big boss.
Okay, it's so glad to meet you guys, and it's so nice to have you here with us today. So welcome to our podcast, and we are here to talk about the career services and the resources they offer for the students. So to begin, we want to know, what is career services for those students that might not know about it?
Okay, we're a department on campus that helps students with their career and ultimately help them have a career placement when they graduate, so we can help them better be lifelong disciples of Jesus Christ and leaders in their families, communities, chosen fields, and in building the kingdom of God. I was reading my cheat sheet. That's what we do. Help students, whatever, so they can be successful in their careers.
It's really interesting because a lot of our students come to school from far, far away. They've gone through elementary and junior high school, middle school, high school. They're ready to go off maybe on a mission or into the military or do something else. But then they come to school and they don't know really what they want to do, do they? They come, they take some classes, and pretty soon they're 2 years into their education, and they think, what do I do now? So we try to bridge that gap of what they want to do, and what they don't know that they want to do, and what classes to take to make that happen.
All right, that's great and awesome at the same time. And thank you for sharing what career services is. So now that we know about what is career services, we want to know more about the resources that you guys offer to the students as well. Do you have other resources that the students might not know about that they should know about?
I'd like to ask Jeremy if he would read. It's long, so it's hard to memorize, but we have a mission statement that may help lay some foundation for what we want to talk about the rest of the podcast.
Yes. So the mission of our department is to empower students in their personal, professional, and educational growth, aligning with BYU-Hawaii's mission to create lifelong disciples of Jesus Christ and leaders in their fields, all while fostering excellence, integrity, and service through comprehensive career programs and personalized support.
So we want them to come to school, get an education, and get a career going, not just a job, but a career that will interest them for a long time and satisfy their need to work. And, we're all wired to work. We want to work. We want to help. We want to be of service to the community and our families. And so we try to help them by steering them to different opportunities so that they'll get an interest of some kind, and further that interest, make it a very interesting part of their life so that they'll get better at it and serve in their communities.
Also, in addition, I don't know if you would call this resources, but I feel like there are more of services that we offer. We have at least 7. We help students with their resume, cover letter, mock interviews if they would be having job interviews or just want to practice. We help with career planning, professional photo. I feel like sometimes students don't know that we can help their photos professional, so when their future employers stalk them, they would see a professional photo. Yes, not with dog ears and you know what I mean. It's not that they are bad, but also we help with internship planning, and also looking for internship opportunities, and personality assessment, or MBTI, that I think we would be talking more about later. So those are some of the things that we help with, and more.
Okay. You mentioned MBTI. We were just wondering what that actually means, because I feel like it's a, I don't know if it's a common thing or not a common thing.
I think Elder Brock would.
I brought a few things so I could not have to guess at some of this, but MBTI stands for Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. So the Myers-Briggs is the last name of two ladies, a daughter and a mom, that were sociologists and psychologists and counselors, and this type indicator is a little different than an assessment that you would do to find out your interests. This type indicator tells you more than that. It specializes in helping you understand what your choices would be, or your preferences. What would you pick, a blue car or a red car? You and I would both need a car, but you pick a red one because you prefer red. I pick a blue one because I prefer blue. I mean, there's no good or bad. I mean, we are what we are. So whenever you can find out what you like, the environment that you like to be in, the job that you like to do in that environment.
Yes.
If you don't like noise, you don't want to have a job that's going to put you on the floor of a manufacturing company.
Right.
You want to be in an office, somewhere where it's quiet, maybe the phone and the intercom or whatever. But the MBTI, or the Myers-Briggs indicator, is a very intensive exam indicator to help you figure out, because we don't always know what we prefer. And so this gives us the opportunity to learn what we prefer, and we can go down the right path and not waste time chasing red cars when we like blue ones.
Yeah. So how does the MBTI work, or what does it look like? Can you give us like a preview of how, or what does it look like, or how does it work?
Should I carry on?
Yes, please, Elder Brock. Thank you for saving me.
You're welcome. This is what it,
So for those who are not seeing this, Elder Brock is like trying to show the microphone what the MBTI looks like.
this is what it looks like. Oh,
It's all right. Okay.
it's a 10-page report that gives you things like identifying your job families that you would be best at, occupational categories, what specific needs do you have, selecting a college major or a course of study. All those things that affect your future, if we can get you focused, you might not waste 6 or 8 months or a year chasing something that you really aren't interested in and find out, oh man, I really didn't like that. So there's a lot of things to learn, a summary of your results. This is really an extensive report. A report like this, they're very expensive. These reports are very expensive. And the university has already paid for these. So
Wow.
it doesn't cost anything for the students, our students, to do the MBTI. They just have to go online at BYU-H.edu and click About Us and find academics. And there's an MBTI button to push, and then it'll say over here someplace, Start Exam or Start
Take assessment.
Assessment.
Yes.
And then you go through. It takes about an hour and a half or so. It really is. It's focused, and you can't do it quickly. It tells you your preferred work tasks, the environment that you would prefer to work in. Again, do you like noise? Do you not like noise? Do you like a lot of people? Not very many people. Do you like to be in a little area, or do you like to be, put out in a big room? A career exploration. It even tells you your challenges. Not only
Wow.
does it tell you what you would do well at, which direction to go, but it tells you things like you may miss opportunities because you're reluctant to network. There's a lot of people that just don't like to talk. And if you're going to go out and try to find a career, you've got to network. I mean, that's the numeral uno of finding a job is networking and getting people to talk to you. So this person whose report I have here is reluctant because of the answers that they gave or the preferences they picked during the exam. We know that they are reluctant to network. You may be hesitant to sell your potential contributions. Some people don't like to talk about themselves. Anyway, on and on and on about that. Talks about your style, how your type affects your career development. It's just very intensive. It tells you, what your type, what at your best, the characteristics of a certain type, how others may see you are here. So by knowing that, if you know how somebody perceives you or sees you, you can either, in a good way, you can capitalize on that. For example, if someone says, Jerameel, I really like your perfume or your aftershave. You might want to put that on when you go to your job interview. Or if someone says, that stuff that you wear it's not becoming, you wouldn't wear it. So it tells you things like, what do people see in you, characteristics, how many others may see you, as well as potential areas for growth. It tells you things like, sometimes life circumstances have not supported certain assessments in the development and expression of their favorite process, and it goes on to tell you what you can do to correct that. Yeah. There's some little paragraphs about this person here is quiet, friendly, sensitive, and kind. They enjoy the present moment, what's going on around them. They like to have their own space and to work within their own time frame. A few things that you can capitalize on if you want to go into an interview and win over the interviewer. So there's this MBTI or Myers-Briggs report is, in fact, it's become so popular they're writing books about it.
Oh, wow. We didn't know about that.
They're writing books about it. I've heard our students in the Aloha Center sitting at the tables or the couch or the countertop, and they're talking about, I'm an INFTF. I'm an INTF. And someone says, well, I'm an INFJ.
That's how they introduce themselves.
Yeah, that's how they think of themselves
and
now.
if you have no idea, you'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I am an ABCD.
Yeah. Or I am STUPID. Whatever it might be, you never know. But the books that I really enjoy, and you can Google 16 profiles. That's what this is called, a profile. So this is the profile career report, and you can find these books on profiles. There's 16 of these profiles, and you can find one and read about yourself, about your overview. You have indicated that you prefer whatever it is here. I don't want to give this person away. High performers who share your type are Albert Einstein, Carl Jung, Woodrow Wilson, one of the presidents of the United States.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, so you can go through here. There's even one, I can't find it. One of these even says that you're like Jesus.
Wow.
Now,
That's a compliment.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the first time that I've
wouldn't
heard
that
that.
be a compliment? Wouldn't that be a great way? If you knew that your attitude, your aptitude, the way you treat people and the way you do things would be like Jesus, that would help you a lot to understand how you might handle certain situations. So there's some great things to learn from the Myers-Briggs, and it's easy to find, easy to get to, doesn't cost the students anything, and it's very well worth your while and time to do it.
I think if the students will take this outside, it is about $70.
Yes.
Wow.
and it's
That's a lot
free
of-
here. So
It's a lot of money.
yes,
Yeah.
take it here on campus for free. I this MBTI or personality assessment, it is really helpful, even if you are choosing your major and even the career that you want to take. For example, I found out, maybe I knew this all along, but I am an extrovert. Extrovert? I am extroverted.
Extroverted.
So works like accounting and those kind of career won't really work for me because I love being outside and being with people. But personality assessment, it is really helpful. This is one of the things, personality is one of the things that help us decide what kind of course you will take or what career you want to take or job that you want to take. But also there are different factors that will help you choose whatever you want. Sometimes for student, it is helpful for them to know where do you want to live for your job, or how much do you want to be paid, or what kind of schedule for jobs. But this personality assessment, this is one of the contributors or factors that can help you decide what kind of job and major that you will want to take.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's why it's so important in an academic setting like a university. It really is accurate in helping you to understand yourself so that you can pick the right classes to take and not, and I hate to say waste your time because nothing is a waste. Every minute you spend on your education, learning, whatever it might be that you're learning, even if it's not exactly what is going to take you where you want to go, but there's people to meet, there's words to learn, expressions, especially here. 60-something different countries of people speaking 100 different languages, listening, talking, greeting each other in certain ways is all very helpful. So there's no waste of time, but like Jerameel says, it can help you find the direction that you would be most happy going forward.
agree.
Yeah. So that's why it's important for us students to know how MBTI works and like the benefit of it. And just by like listening to Elder Brock and Jerameel, I've learned so much now, like how the MBTI assessment or the personality test can help me find me choose my chosen career or go on that endeavor. So, Myco?
You also mentioned about the services a while ago that Jerameel listed for us, and one of them is internships. Internships.
internship.
And I feel like Valerie and I are both juniors.
Yeah, we're
We
juniors.
might need to.
We might need to like
we might
think
need
about
to
that now.
start and think about that now. And it's great to know about the MBTI, as Valerie mentioned. But we want to learn more about internships. So, what is an internship, and what are the benefits of getting one?
Go.
Right. Internship, it is really important because you will get a practical experience where you can apply all these theories and learnings that you are getting from the classroom and apply this to a practical job. Internship will also help you get build your network and get to see 360 views of how the kind of job that you want to get, just give you a better picture of the job that you want to take. And do you also want me to talk about how they go about internship application?
Yes.
Okay, so with internship application, there are 7 steps
Okay.
for internship application. First is you will have to meet with your academic advisor. Your academic advisor will help you map out your STELIC and will help you know what is the best semester that you can do your internship. And second, you will meet with your internship coordinator. And with internship coordinator, you will be writing 3 learning objectives. What are your goals with your internship experience? Do you want to know how to manage kitchen, those things? And then step 3 is you will apply for the job and get hired. And then step 4 is you will receive the offer letter. And then step 5, depending on the company that you will, or your internship provider, you will have to have your MOU or Memorandum of Understanding signed. If you will do your internship on campus or with any organization that is in partnership with the church, you won't have to have this MOU signed. But if it is an outside company, you will need this one signed. And then step 6 is you will register and apply on Handshake. This is something that we can help you with this one. This is an online application. And then step 7 is you will get your academic internship approval. The approval is 7 steps, and there are 7 or 5 steps depending if you're an iWork student or domestic student. But along these 7 steps, you can always go to our office, and then we can always help you.
They're very internships are really important. There's also a few other things to think about. Or did you say it and I didn't catch it? But there's internships for pay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's internships that you don't get paid. There's internships for credit
Yes.
or no credit. So you can go to a company and work on summer vacation between semesters and not get paid, but you still get the experience, which is better than getting paid, in my opinion. For example, I helped a young man that wanted to be a welder. He thought he wanted to be a welder, and that's a little hobby that I've got. I use it in work for quite a few years, but when we took this student to this welding company, and he worked for about 3 days, he called me up and he said, Elder Brock, get me out of here. I hate this. I don't know if you know about welding, but you have a hood that you have on and a glass protector so that your eyes don't burn up because of the flame or the electric light that's going on. There's smoke. The metal gets hot. It starts to swirl and smoke, and the smoke comes up here and under your hood, and you start to breathe it, and it gets in your eyes. And he said, "Get me out of here. I can't do this." So for the fact that he did this internship, well, it didn't last very long, but he learned very quickly that it wasn't something, and he thought since he was 15 years old, he thought he'd be a great welder,
Right.
and learned that he just hated it.
Yeah.
Then I helped a girl one time who she was driving a forklift at a Home Depot, and she was really good. She could put 30 pallets of product in the back of a truck, and you and I could only put like 15. She saw very spatially. She could kind of like Tetris.
Yeah.
Wow.
She could stack things and drive this forklift and run with one hand on this and one hand on this and a foot on each pedal, and she was
very
really
good.
really good. Well, she found out she didn't like driving forklift for money, and I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" She said, "I want to be a dog groomer."
That's
I said,
very
"What?"
far away
Yeah.
from the forklift.
That's very
She determined that while knowing that I was going to ask her about why she didn't like this forklift opportunity, but she did like combing dogs and grooming dogs and getting them ready for championship shows and stuff, that she wanted to be a dog groomer. So we found her a high-end, a very prestigious dog grooming, and
Love it.
yeah, we got her hooked up with a 6-week internship. When the 6 weeks was over, they hired her, and actually now she runs the shop.
Wow.
The owners never had any children, so they went off on a LDS mission as a husband and wife. They always wanted to go on a mission. They had no children of their own, so they couldn't do that. But now when they got this girl so well trained that they let her run the company, when they got back from their mission, they sold it to her.
Amazing.
wow.
Internships.
crazy.
There's so many great things that come from being around your desired career.
So do your internship.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
talking
Do your
about
internship.
internship, like how can the career services help students be prepared to go to an internship?
How do we?
Oh, well, you sit down and chat. You talk.
Sit down and chat.
Yes.
You visit. You open your mouth. You come and visit with one of our. We have 13 career mentors in our office in the career studio, and you sit and visit, and we take turns. In fact, you may come in and have a chat with someone that knows a little bit about your desired internship, but maybe you have to bring Jerameel into it, or another person, or maybe we even find another person that has nothing to do with our office, but we know them as a friend or a colleague, teaching another professor, or maybe another missionary or something. We bring them into the career studio and sit the student down with that person, and they talk a little bit. We've done that with Elder Wadman. We have an Elder Wadman that owns a construction company in Ogden, Utah. I brought him in to talk to a particular student about the construction work that was going on here at the school. And he got a job with Jacobson. So yeah, it was amazing. It was, and so the internship is an opportunity to learn more about what you want to do or what you don't want to do. It's like the MBTI, only it's alive.
Yeah.
It's dynamic. It's working. It's not just writing or reading.
Yes, and at the career services department, we have internship specialist, and if the student comes to our office, that career mentor or internship specialist will sit down with that person and then go through the process with him or her. And also in each department, there are practicum classes that help students get ready for their internship. So I think those things would help. And also if you want to explore internship opportunities, what kind of jobs do you want? And then you can always go to career services. You can just walk in or book an appointment through our website.
Okay. With internships, of course, we do know that when you start to prepare for an internship and you talk about it with career services and your academic advisor, there's a need for a resume involved, or with any other job that we try to get, there's a resume involved. So what are the benefits of having a good resume, and how can the career services help with creating a good resume?
Yeah, one of the greatest purposes of resume is get you to an interview. Your resume is kind of like the summary of all of the experiences you had and your qualifications for the job. So we want all of the students or every student to have a very excellent resume, as to when the employers look at the resume, they would say, wow, this student is really great, and we want to hire him or get him or her an interview. We always tell students when it comes to resume building that they would have to customize or personalize the resume. It shouldn't be just a generic resume that you will send to all of the job applications you want to apply for. The resume should be customized to that specific job that you want to apply. If this job is looking for this specific qualifications and skills, then you should customize your resume based on those, and even use those keywords that in the job summary or duties and responsibilities those employers are looking for. Yeah, and yeah, we help with one-on-one. We help one by one when it comes to resume, and just sit down with the students and then look at this job and then help them write the resume with them.
The resumes that Jerameel's talking about, the very specific ones to a certain job, have are made based on qualifications, requirements, and skills that are particular to that job that you're wanting. And people say, well, where do I find that? Where do I get these key words that you're talking about? They're right in the job application or the job posting.
Yeah.
It'll say that you have to have so many you can this or that software or hardware or you it tells you all the things you need to know. You need to not focus, but you need to make sure you mention those different computer skills or computer handshake or
certificates and all that.
XYZ or what what are they the Microsoft and what am I talking about here?
Like soft skills.
Well, the computer,
Microsoft
the programming.
Office, the
programs.
Okay.
Yeah.
the programs. Both my sons at home design. They do architecture in horticulture ways or in building homes and even the grounds and parks and green spaces, and they need to know certain like SketchUp or these different programs so that you can put in the different sizes of different cabinets that you're going to make for a home. So it goes through the computer and comes out the other end, and you've got instead of blueprints, you got your your cut list and if you're lucky enough to have a big company, you've got a saw that will take that computer program and you stack up some wood over there and you push a button and over there comes out all your cut pieces to the right size. Well, if you have to do that for your job and you don't know how to do it, the business owner doesn't want to teach you that. You need to come prepared with that skill.
Yeah.
And the only way he's going to find out or she's going to find out that you have that skill is if you tell them
On the
Through your
resume.
in your resume.
Yeah.
Your resume is a big calling card.
Amen.
Yeah. Love that. I love learning more about the career services and the resources and the services that you guys offer, like internships, making a good resume, and especially now that I'm a junior, I feel like career services has like a big part on helping me know what career I want to do in the near future. Now going back to you guys, we heard that there is a little bit of change in the career services. We just want to ask, what are those changes that the students and faculties should be aware of? And like, would those changes affect the purpose and or objective of the career services?
Please, you go first.
Yes, there is a bit of changes at the career services, but that does not affect our operation and our purpose. These changes that happened in the career services, it is something that shouldn't concern the students and other people.
Okay.
Our operation is still in full, and we are intact, and we are still serving the university like we have been doing
In
before.
fact, there's some wonderful changes being made so that we're better.
Okay.
There was
That's good to know.
a many-week study that was done. They brought some professionals in that do reorganizations of companies, and they've determined that this could change over, or this could happen, or you might want to think about this, or we interviewed a person that's probably not in the right spot. All these things that you do for a restructure or a reorganization have been done now for our department, and we're putting those into play now. So we're actually going to be better than we were. It's exciting. It's exciting to have.
I'm excited.
This, I don't know how everybody else is, but I like starts. I like to start things. I like new starts.
Yes.
Now I like the middle and the end too, but I really enjoy being a part of. So after all these months of being a missionary here, I get to be a part of a reorganizational start, and that is so exciting. To be around people that can make things like that happen for a company is very. It's just great for your education, even when you're old.
We're happy to know that despite all the changes that happened, everything is still positive, and
Yes.
like what Jerameel said, it's it's good for the office. It's good for the people working there, and it's all just up from here. Are there any other things that we didn't ask that you would still like to mention to the listeners of this podcast?
Like announcements or suggestion or advice for students that doesn't know much about career services, or that the things that they should know about?
I think my number one advice for students is don't procrastinate your career planning. We've had a lot of students who will, for example, graduating tomorrow, and they will look for a job today. That is not bad, but the ideal is we should be doing our planning and job search way ahead of time. There is a saying in Filipino that says, "Daig ng maagap ang masipag." What is the translation for that, Val? That's a quiz.
The
Daig ng maagap ang masipag. The early, the better.
Yeah, the
I
earlier
think
the better.
that's
Let's
the-
do that.
yes.
The earlier the better.
It's
Very
not
accurate.
a direct translation,
Yeah.
but yeah.
The earlier you prepare, the more opportunities you can get.
Yeah.
Yes. Those who are early birds will beat the hard workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a direct translation? But yeah, but if you come early and prepare early, you won't be afraid of the future, I feel like. So do your career planning, build your resume, explore internship opportunities, change your photo. Just kidding. Do a professional photo if you need. Just visit us at our office, and then we will help you be successful in your career.
That was my suggestion to the students. Come, don't wait till you're a senior or even a junior. Come, and let us sit down with you and help you decide, or give you some ideas as to what would make you happy going forward in your life and successful. Everybody wants to be successful, and some people think they want to do one thing, but sometimes they don't because they're just not good at it. But we can always determine what they are good at by asking the right questions and spending some time. Don't play all day. I guess play all you want, but come to our office and spend some time with us. Well, like I said, we have 13 of our
Mentors.
student mentors. How many between of those 13, Jerameel? How many majors do you think that we cover,
Each mentor,
or expertise?
Yeah,
even.
each mentor covers about 3 majors. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to
So
know.
about 150 students each
Yeah,
mentor.
yeah.
Wow.
And they counsel.
That's a
They
lot.
counsel one by one.
Yeah, so we can make a big difference to the students, and they're not using us enough. That was determined out of the job study that came from the reorganizational data that the students are not using us like they could, or gaining the good things that come from spending time with us.
All right.
Come.
Yeah, we will for sure. But that's really great to know, to be able to get to know you and the services that your office offers. But thank you so much, Jerameel and Elder Brock, for being with us today and letting us know more about career services. And
Thank you to our listeners who are with us from the beginning of this episode up until this moment. Don't forget to share this week's episode to your friends and family. These are your hosts, Valerie.
Myco.
See you next week, guys!
See ya. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.